Welcome, friends. We are back to you in the story of the biggest bank robbery in Brazil. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and activate the bell button so that you can access the stories. First, people, welcome to the Mystery Novelist channel. Okay, we stopped when the detectives rented a building near the crooks without their knowing. All conspired. Criminals against the bank, police against thieves. I like this detective's mood. The police installed cameras to observe the criminals' building from different angles. They watched the gathering on surveillance screens. The burglars wore professional clothes and helmets to portray themselves as renovators. The police saw them go. They knew they were digging up sand and soil because there was so much waste. The police unit leader watching the burglars was smart. He told his men, "We need to check their garbage. If we see just floors and debris, it means they are still in the early stages, still breaking the floor. If we see dirt and sand, it means they have begun digging the tunnel underground. And if we see concrete and metal, it means they have reached the bottom of the bank vault." They remained vigilant and caught the thieves near the vault. Unexpected events occurred. Police listened to robbers' conversations, finding a third party who threatened and blackmailed gang members. This third party knew what they were doing inside and demanded money to stay silent. The authorities feared this third entity would complicate the investigation, but they never identified it. Two entered the building. Police watched them enter and talk in the building. Can you image what they found? A third party was found. They overheard criminals talking and discovered a third person was threatening and blackmailing gang members. This third party knows about their institution actions and is forcing them to pay to be silent. The cops feared a third party would complicate matters but never identified it. Two people from this third party entered the building. Police watched them enter and converse in the building. Can you image what they found? They found that dishonest police officers blackmailed robbers for money to leave. They and other dishonest cops coerced robbers into paying for their silence. This sounds like a movie plot. The monitoring team and federal police feared their operation would fail with these corrupt officials. They raided and arrested the group. They had two backup shooters on an adjacent building's roof. A raid squad entered through the main entrance after ringing the building. Footage shows them burst in through the door. No thieves fought. Unarmed, they surrendered promptly. Special soldiers simply seized the building. True photographs and video of gang members in prison. Police arrested 26 persons and found the burglars' wooden plank-sealed hole and tunnel. Wooden and steel planks supported the tunnel. Experts confirmed the tube was dug similarly to the central bank tunnel. The burglars had excavated 78 meters and had 12 remaining to reach the bank vault. Only 2 detainees were gang members. The initial core bank burglars are Raimundo and Fat Alessandro. Investigators are still looking for many suspects 2 years after the major bank robbery. The police pursued offenders through family, spied on their phone calls, etc. Federal investigators found José Mario Ludo bearding. They didn't identify him till his wife appeared. When he was arrested, police wore civilian clothing. "You are with the federal police, the game is over." He dropped. They handcuffed him and photographed him while he spoke. He had a bad year despite his wealth. He was always afraid. When one said, "You are with the federal police," he fainted. After waking up, he was shackled and recorded talking. Despite his wealth, he worried constantly. The police chief says we have nothing left. I feel terrible for him. Limao, another suspect, was suspected of leading and creating the plan. Limao wanted to change his lengthy hair and beard. He also faked company, farmer, and other IDs. Changing appearance confused the police who were hunting him. They recognized him by his right arm tattoo, despite his appearance changes. After his arrest, he lost all his money, goods, and property. 2008 began with this suspect. Remember the woolen-hatted registered address holder? He was posing as Paulo Sergio on Ministry of Commerce documents. After identifying him as Pilo Hesent, cops arrested him. He was arrested outside a car rental firm. They told him, "Yo, we are the police and you are under arrest." He said, "They are kidnapping me, they are kidnapping me." They told him, "Hey, we are the federal police, what's wrong with you? We are not kidnapping you, we are arresting you." He ultimately understood they were officers. Interviewing him at the station revealed his feelings. How did he get an ID with a woolen hat? It surprised them. He added, "I forged it. It cost me a small fortune, but I managed to forge it." He claims he was kidnapped twice for the central bank robbery and always pretended to be a cop. They demanded huge sums to liberate him. Bank thieves were hunted by many criminal organizations and people for their stolen funds. Remember Mar El Yudo, the insane man they arrested? Fearful for 2 years, he hid in the jungle for 1.5. He worried about cops, criminals, and gangs after him. Proceed to another suspect. Moises and 53 others escaped incarceration. The individual specialized in tunneling and was involved in a São Paulo bank theft before the central bank burglary. Moises recruited most of the organization, therefore most arrested knew him. He led the group as a result. Moises was wanted by the police, but he was smart and could hide for a long time. 4 years after the central bank robbery, he was captured in 2009. The police found him through his wife. They filmed her conversations and found that she took her son to Moises on weekends. They followed her to a São Paulo apartment complex. Police found his automobile in the subterranean parking lot before arresting him. They faked an accident to avoid suspicion. They caused the building's guard to phone Moises and allege a resident damaged his car. As Moises descended, police cameras tracked him. He left his flat, crossed the corridor, and took the elevator. Opening the elevator to the basement parking lot, he was astonished to see federal authorities confronting him. "You are with the federal police and you are under arrest. I thought you had forgotten about me after 4 years." No, don't worry, we never forgot you. You were always on our minds." The Fernandinho photo was seen previously. This individual was a notable São Paulo criminal. He was a notorious city drug trafficker. He funded the entire central bank fraud. Home rentals, drilling equipment, transportation, and gasoline were pricey. The operation started with a large budget. Fernandinho funded the scheme. His stake was 15%. If they stole $164 million, his share is around. He made $25 million from treatment. Gangs target sudden millionaires. Consider police-clad kidnappers taking Fernandinho. They started as camouflaged or crooked police. His family paid Fernandinho's kidnappers a ransom. They didn't return Fernandinho. His body was found by police. The drug lord Fernandinho died. After finding the kidnappers, detectives found corrupt officials. Imagine police stealing from criminals. Investigations showed dishonest police cooperated with Fernandinho. The ransom money was taken from Fernandinho's family, knowing he would seek retribution if released inside São Paulo's criminal elite. If free, he would never release them, so they killed him. Suppose they killed numerous of his associates who could have identified them, wiped their tracks. City police are crooks. Police, criminals, and corrupt policemen kidnapped Fernandinho and other gang members. Many were relieved to be held because their condition was difficult. In one case, gang member Pedro was home when a group knocked. Pedro asked, "What's up?" They replied, "We're police officers and we need you to hand over the money you stole from the central bank." Before Pedro could negotiate, they broke into his house, attacked him and his wife, and stole almost $1 million reals. Again, dishonest cops rob thieves. Assume another bunch robbed him later. He said, "I have nothing left. Another group already robbed me before you." They beat him and searched the house but found nothing. Imagine Pedro confessed. He adds, "The police couldn't let me live. It's better to be in prison where everyone knows I have nothing than to live like this. with a group coming to harass my life every time. He gave up. Strange and surprising. Another odd example includes Anselmo, a claimed central banker. He and 2 friends were also in this home. Bound, strangled bodies were found. This crime's accused were crooked cops. There were undoubtedly as many dishonest police officers as criminals caught. This is absurd. Suppose federal investigators eavesdropped on a suspect's call and learned about a kidnapping and ransom. Kidnappers were found. Case suspects were corrupt police officers. Imagine tracking the dishonest cop's phone to the same station. Consider federal police intercepting corrupt cops as they negotiated ransom. Naturally, federal police arrested the dishonest cops at the station. Station cops were arrested for the first time. It's crazy. Unbelievable in a movie. How is that possible? Brazilian central bank heist was one of the weirdest, and its effects went beyond thievery. It affected kidnapping and extortion. It led other groups to steal from banks secretly. Police began getting scores of tips about these activities annually. Tunnel-based bank robberies were common among gangs. Each year, investigators find dozens such tunnels. Some acts were stopped early, some late. One of the failed billion-dollar bank heists would have been the largest ever. They rented a residence 500 meters from the bank. They planned a half-kilometer tunnel. They targeted Banco do Brasil, the big circular bank. This bank funds other banks. 5 massive underground vaults hold at least 1 billion Brazilian reais. Robbers built a long tunnel under the bank. Poor them. While excavating the tunnel, they rented a house 500 meters from the bank to avoid suspicion. They planned a half-kilometer tunnel, the longest in these efforts. They targeted Brazil's money distribution hub, Banco do Brasil, the big circular bank in front of you. This bank funds other banks. 5 massive underground vaults hold at least 1 billion Brazilian reais. Robbers built a long tunnel under the bank. The foundation collapsed during excavation beneath the bank. Contractor irresponsibility, after digging below the bank, collapsed the foundation, exposing them. After reaching underneath the vault, they needed to unlock it. It appears their mother cursed them. Review the case findings before concluding. After police solved the case, no secrets remained. The criminal network was identified and most were arrested. Some died, but juvenile fled and disappeared. Others were captured or told their fate. The police collected 34 million reais from the theft, 1 million reals from the stolen amount, a modest percentage, but they had no alternative. The criminals bought cheap homes and assets to launder money, spending a lot. As mentioned, theft sentences in Brazil are moderate, therefore most of these perpetrators may have received a short jail sentence if just charged with theft. They were charged with money laundering, a more serious crime than theft. Since each home, car, and piece of equipment was a distinct infringement, several persons were punished severely. There are various punishments because each transgression is separate. Some received life sentences of almost 100 years. Finally, our story concludes. I hope you liked it. Tell me in the comments if you like this kind of stories. And these are also stories that you can listen to. Goodbye with a story that will cause you even more amazement.